To me, it's almost weird. The dynamic is completely different. It's night and day for men. We have a family friend. We have a family
Elaborate.
friend with 4 kids. Before his wife divorced him, she just had twins.
Mhm,
Number 3 and number 4.
mhm.
He was, distraught, thinking he's going to be alone the rest of his life. One of his colleagues at work, so he calling me like, I don't know what's going on. If she feels sorry for me, no, this woman liked him from afar, knew everything he had going on, and placed herself basically in his life. And they just had a kid. So
Well,
when it comes to women, y'all propensity to want to help nurture and want to help take care, it shows itself a lot easier when a man has kids.
I personally think that women who have kids should date men who have kids of similar age. It just makes the dynamic easier. And because one, it'll promote him to get his kids more often, the kids play together. It's just an easier transition as far as dating is concerned. I would also, I mean, but I'm of age, so I would say people who have children should probably date older. Most of the time, older men are okay with because they too have children, and they probably don't want more children. Um, and again, and if a person is the head of your household, if you trust this man to lead your household, then that involves your children as well. Why would you even be with somebody who you don't even trust, your kids with? Which a lot of women do, and they shouldn't. The men that they choose, I think sometimes women are so desperate to get a man, they just choose anybody, and it's like, what? Oh my God, you should always, if you're gonna have a man in your life, he needs to be a man who you want your children to look up to, a leader in the household
Yeah.
who leads by example. And this whole discipline thing, if the man is the head of the household,
Okay.
unless he's done something and I've seen it and it's of concern, that's just, which is not the norm. That's the only way I would see otherwise. But other than that, if especially little boys, they need a man in their life, and discipline is a big part of that. As well as girls. But I just don't understand that dynamic when I hear people say, well, oh, the whole thing about she's not letting you discipline. But I would also say it takes a certain man. Not every man is designed to be the head of a household that already has children. And you need to
Right.
know that some men are not kid people. They're only their kid people, you know? And then there are
Understand.
some men who love kids. I mean, coaches, if they have kids spending at their house all the time, like they're the guy like who likes kids. So you just got to make sure you choose appropriate. I know we elect the love and all that kind of stuff, but you want to make sure that you choose the person who fits compatibility in your lifestyle. So
So
Now, have
Shannon,
you
you
ever
said
met? I'm just curious. Have you ever met a man? Because I've met and heard these men. Not anybody I've dealt with personally, but I've heard there's like some men who they will have children but still choose not to date a woman that has a child or children. And like, is that hypocritical? Is that okay? Go
you say
ahead.
what now? And
Like,
what's so funny about that is I would even argue that men need to be aware of women coming into their lives who and they have children, because a lot of dads don't show up because they new wife don't want you around. They
yeah,
don't. They came in, they played house with you, like, oh, I love your kids, and then all of a sudden they don't want you to go pick your kids up. So you
mm,
have to be cautious on both ends, both when you bring a woman into the house when you have children and vice versa. I think that people who have kids just need to be cautious.
yeah. To
Be
that,
cautious.
it's weird. To me, it's almost weird. The dynamic is completely different. It's night and day for men. We have a family friend. We have a family
elaborate.
friend with 4 kids. Before his wife divorced him, she just had twins.
Mhm,
Number 3 and number 4.
mhm.
He was, distraught, thinking he's going to be alone the rest of his life. One of his colleagues at work, so he calling me like, I don't know what's going on. If she feels sorry for me, no, this woman liked him from afar, knew everything he had going on, and placed herself basically in his life. And they just had a kid. So
Well,
when it comes to women, y'all propensity to want to help nurture and want to help take care, it shows itself a lot easier when a man has kids.
So what
Uh,
happens is dormant. So what she'll stick it out just because, but behind she's taught like you know, I got friends and they talk about them stepkids, and I'm like,
well,
come
yeah, I
on.
think we have a problem with people who can't vet properly and don't get the opportunity to know people. Right. So that's one of the big things. People will say, oh, you should know in 6 months. I made the statement that I could get married in 90 days, but I'd never do it to a woman with a woman I didn't know well. Right. So I feel like the day you get married, your wife or your husband should can get taken away for a federal charge, right? And you be standing in the arraignment like they didn't do it. I know 100% today. I'll bet my whole salary that they didn't do it. Everybody is not choosing somebody they can do that with. They get caught up in the moment of just having someone that they ignore all those red flags. I learned that not only from like YouTube, I learned that from watching people now. It's easier to say someone switched up, but terrible to say, nobody wants to take accountability to say they ignored the red flags.
I think that you're thinking it's just in your face, like she's mean to the kid, like
No,
Cinderella.
I don't
It
think that.
doesn't. It does. So the red flags aren't. It just shows up as her feelings may not be as deep for your kid as it is for her kid, or
Mhm.
maybe she feels like you should be more hands on in opposed to people think that this nurturing thing that women have is just so, and it's not. They're territorial just as well as men are for some of them. And to go back, and I would say it just depends on the person when it comes to the woman and the man, because we just saw the situation with Brian McKnight. He didn't buy his kids. I mean, according to the papers, he didn't buy his kid, but he was doing for his wife's kids who were not his biological kids. So we have stories for day. It's just all about the individual. But please understand,
Wait,
there
but
are,
why is him not doing for? Wait, so are we assuming that that's like because she doesn't want him doing for his own kids?
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's accepting her kids like his own. He's a good step. He would be a consider like he didn't mind being a stepfather. So I'm just saying that they're out there. It's all individualized. But I'm just telling you that it is hard for women. Women accept it because if they find a good man, they love him so much they'll just deal with it. But trust and believe, women are the women. We're the ones who come home, have to cook and clean. If she does not have kids of her own, and she has to do it for yours, and she doesn't have, it's because she loves you. It's not as easy unless she's just a person who likes, because some people just love kids, they'll adopt kids, they'll do, because you have those people
Yeah.
as well. We're not talking about that. But I think that men get caught up thinking that all women are just gonna what they think is, oh, he's a daddy and maybe he didn't have his kid as often as the mom. He may have her every other weekend. But if you're one of those parents who are just involved as the mom where it's 50-50,
So
that's probably not what she signed up for.
I definitely agree, and I didn't mean to make it seem like this is all women with this type of
Okay.
tendency. I
Of
just
course,
saying
of course.
women are more nurturing than men are. That's a fact, right? And you have a mind for nurturing. Rather, it's if nurturing is your natural propensity, then discipline is mine as a father. This lady, but alternatively, there are women that are absolutely 100% willing to do that. I told you he was trying to tell this lady, you don't want to board this Titanic. And she doesn't say she's a mother of one. She says she's a mother of five. She pays for their Christmas. Like everybody is wowed by her. We at her wedding, like, yo, this is like the include. There are women who are just like that. And he took the time, from my advice and a couple of our other friends, take a moment. Don't do that thing where it's like Superman syndrome in reverse. You just want to marry her because she's saving you now, because maybe she just want to move into your big old house, all that type of stuff. So we said that already. This lady is something from God. Like God sent her to him. Like, you know what I mean? There are some women alternatively who are really about this life. Anything a man got, she will include it.
Of
You know what I mean?
course,
So
but the same can be true for men as well. You
yeah.
understand, because because a third of marriages are blended families. We just read that last week, getting ready preparation. A third of all marriages is a blended family. Blended meaning he has people, she has people that came together, the Brady Bunch. So not that many kids, though. I hope. Oh. But that's just how it is.